welcome to another segment of Truth and Company Boxing Podcast. And today we have an exciting guest on. He does a lot, and it's going to take me for a minute to run through everything this man does, not just in boxing, but in life. He's a two-time former world champion. He's a dad of 7 children. He's a gym owner. He's a coach. He's an actor. He's a poet. He's an artist. He's a comedian. He's a drama director with a group called SWAT in his church. And I mean, the amateur experience this man has had and the pro experience he has had. And then we're going to talk about why the medical field believes he never even should have been in the ring to begin with. So let me just give you an example of his amateur background quick. 226 wins, 23 losses, and 1 no contest with over 100 KOs in the amateurs. 15 Georgia State Golden Glove titles, 3 Georgia State Silver Glove titles, 2 regional Silver Glove titles, 3 regional Golden Glove titles, only fighter to win the regional Golden Gloves in 3 different weight classes, 125, 139, 147. Also the Best Boxer Award in the State Golden Gloves, the Best Boxer Award in the Regional Golden Gloves, and a bronze medal in the Eastern Olympic Trials in 1988. That's just his amateur career, folks. His pro career, 44 wins with 31 knockouts and 16 losses. Let me bring on former 2-time world champion, the Nature Boy, Homer Lee Gibbins Jr.
Yes,
How you doing, Homer?
All right, John. I'm doing well, man. You okay?
Oh, I'm great, man. I appreciate you taking time to come on the show.
I wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
So how'd you like that introduction?
Make me sound a lot better than I am, right?
So listen, first of all, I got to start with the obvious question everybody wants to know about every fighter. How did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
Man, I was a big wrestler. You know, I loved wrestling. Every Friday night, we'd watch it with my grandfather, my papa, and then I would try to do everything that they did, not knowing that some of it was scripted. The brain buster was the big move that was out. So you got on the top rope and you jumped off the rope and you sailed through the air and you headbutted the guy on the mat. Well, my dad came home from working construction, laying on the floor, and I was like, this is the perfect time for me to try this. So I climbed to the back of the couch, sailed across the air, headbutted my father, and when he found out I wasn't dead, he said to my mom, he said, he's going to the gym tomorrow. And he took me to the boxing gym, and then that Saturday I had my first fight.
So now I heard that in another interview about that. No, so you went to the gym on a Wednesday, and they already put you in a fight on Saturday? How did you even have any skills or even know how to throw more than a jab by Saturday?
I didn't use a jab. It was just wind me up and let me go.
As a 6-year-old, I suppose. I mean, you're just standing in the middle, just swinging windmills.
Yes, sir. And, like I said, my first fight was a loss. I lost to Jerry Hornsby. But then I came back and beat him when I learned actually how to box. And we 3 out of the 5. So it's crazy, like I say, but that's how it all began. Just a wild kid that trying to get. My dad was trying to tame that wild in me.
Okay. So what boxers inspired you in your career?
Well, I always loved to fight.
Wait a minute, you're breaking up on me.
Can you hear me now better?
Yep.
I loved like Marvin.
Oh, no, I lost you again. I couldn't hear you. I don't know. You got your phone in a bad position?
No, I just live in the country.
Oh, okay.
I've got Wi-Fi. But
Yeah, I'm missing, like, you're breaking up and I'm only catching half of what you're saying here. All right, go ahead. Tell me again.
I said I loved guys like Marvin Hagler, and then Evander Holyfield. I grew up in the gym with him. Very admired him all throughout my as an amateur and as a professional as he managed my career.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I wanted to bring that up. I found that pretty interesting, and I don't know if all the fans even know that. How did you end up having a relationship with Evander Holyfield, and then he became your manager for a while, right?
Yes, sir. Uh, in 1976, when I started fighting,
Oh,
he fought out.
I'm not hearing you, Homer.
How about now? Better?
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna change anything. You moving closer though.
Let's see.
Okay.
You know, I mean, when I first started in 1976 as a 6-year-old kid, Evander fought out, and I fought out Jesse Draper, and he fought a couple of the guys from my team. And then we moved down to Riverdale, and we went to a gym over there called Carter Morgan Boxing Club, and that's where Evander was, and became one of his teammates.
Okay. So, but then how did he end up managing you though?
In 1989, 1990, Golden Glove, yeah, beat us, who was on our team. It was a great fighter, Mark Beasley, and Lou Do asked me to come up to Virginia to train with Pernell Whitaker and some of the guys and just see if there's any interest in me.
Oh, I just lost you.
Sorry
Are
about
you
that.
there? Okay.
Yes. So I moved up to Virginia Beach to train Pernell Whitaker, and then Lou Do offered me an opportunity to fight on his undercard, and they also offered me a contract, but Evander said, I said, hey, I want you to look at this contract they offered me. And he looked at it. He said, don't sign it. And I said, me, he said, I'll be your manager. And so, you can't turn down your friend being your manager, and he's in the sport.
So let me ask you then: were you his first fighter?
Me and another guy, Romalis Ellis, bronze medalist for the Olympics in '88, were his first two fighters. Yes, sir.
Okay, because I never even knew that Holyfield even managed fighters.
Yeah, well, he did it as friends of ours. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, he took a little bit of money, but it, it's hard to manage a fighter and compete in the sport. You're gonna give more and more attention, and that's what he did. He gave me opportunities, though. I mean, I got to fight on a lot of his undercards, and got that opportunity. But at the same time, if you're not managed by one of the companies that's promoting the fight, they don't really care if you make money or not. So
Well,
it kind of hurt my career as well.
okay, so now I want to bring up a fighter that you fought. Obviously, I'm up here in Minnesota. A lot of the fans are huge um, fans of his. He's a great fighter. He's a great guy. He's very well known up here. You fought Matt Vanda in your career. So tell me a little bit about that and if you maintained a relationship or even had one with him after the fight.
We haven't talked really since the fight. Good kid, man. He was a solid fighter. I mean, he really was. I knew going up in his hometown, I had to knock him out to win. Nothing against Minnesota. It's just that's the way boxing is. Uh, but I knew going in he was going to be a tough fighter. I said for the first 3 rounds, he's going to give me more than I want. After that, I'm going to start turning the tables. And so I came into the fight. Uh, for the first 3 rounds, he was giving me more than I wanted. Then all of a sudden, I started hitting him in the body, and I was getting just as tough as he was. Yeah, I think in the end, I believe I won the fight, but it wasn't by no huge margin. But they gave him the decision. People in the front row were cheering for me, and they were, they were from Minnesota, so they were telling Matt he got his butt kicked, and oh man, then it erupted, and they got me out of there.
So
Crazy.
now that is it true? I heard that they were throwing things and getting a little upset, the fans. Is that true?
Oh yeah, they were throwing stuff, and chairs were thrown, and cups were thrown. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And Matt was trying to get out of the ring to fight some guys because they said he got his butt kicked, and I was like,
Okay, so now I want to bring up another fight, kind of similar situation. I know you believe that you won this fight as well, and there's a lot of controversy in this fight. And I rewatched it this morning, and I mean, there's headbutts, there's low blows. Even the ref threatens to disqualify both of you, and that was against the legend Hector Camacho. So tell me about that a little bit.
well, they asked for me because they had knocked out Todd Foster and proved that I wasn't that big of a deal either. A good name on on his resume. Uh, so they asked for me, and I was only a 140-pound fighter, fighting 147. And then the night of the fight, or the at the weigh-in, he never made weight. He never made weight, and but I was like, I'm gonna fight him anyway because I just want to be in the ring with Camacho, and I felt that I could take him, especially when he was talking about in the press conference about standing toe to toe and just trading with me. I was like, man, if he stands toe to toe, I'm gonna take him out. And but when I hit him in the third round and hurt him, he grabbed and held and then ran from then on and won a 12 round decision that I didn't feel he won, but he's a great fighter and very, very talented. I mean, if you hit him with a good shot, you're not going to do it again.
So I mean, I know you fought a lot of household names, but when you for a guy like when you fight a guy like Camacho, I mean, and even you were a pro already, you already had fought a lot of people. Do you still get a little bit nervous because of the fact of who he was? And do you get a little bit like, oh my God, I'm about to stand across the ring from Hector Camacho, or as soon as the bell rings, is that gone?
Well, as soon as the bell rings, it all goes. And as soon as the first punch is thrown. But, getting into the fight, I was like, when I first came on the scene of boxing, I was fighting on his undercard with Pernell Whitaker, Mildred Taylor, and Camacho was out in Caesars in Vegas or Lake Tahoe, and I was fighting on his undercard, and all of a sudden now I'm in the ring with him, and I'm like, this is crazy, but that's what you fight for. You fight for that opportunity just to be in the ring with greatness, and I wanted to knock him out, of course. And I said stuff like that to build the fight up. I said, because he said, you're a praying man. You better pray you get past the third round. So I am a praying man. I'm praying for you because I'm in this ring to kill you.
All right, so let me ask you about something else now. I brought it up in the very beginning when I introduced you. You found out later in your career that you had a medical condition, and the doctors said that you should have never been in the ring to begin with, right?
Yes, sir. They missing
Wait, say that again.
the odontoid process. It's the second vertebrae of your neck. It has a tooth-like tip. The top vertebrae sits on, allows your head to rotate, move, and without it, a lot of times when you're born without it, you're born um, retarded or Down syndrome, and so that's one thing. But then you've got that condition, and I didn't know anything about it until 1995. After I fought Jake Rodriguez, I fought Camacho, and we were getting ready to fight Jake Rodriguez at my weight class, 140, and having problems with my leg. I mean, just weakness, and didn't understand it. After fighting Jake Rodriguez, uh, they went back and looked at everything and showing that, oh, I should have never fought at all. I put myself at risk every time I got a fight. It explained a lot of things about my career, like in the amateurs. When I go into a fight, we had to put 3 or 4 fights back, and how I'd beat the number one or number two guy in the world, and then all of a sudden lose to a guy that's not even ranked. You know, and it would drive my dad crazy because my dad was like, "You're better than that. I don't understand it." And I was like, "Dude, I don't. I'm all about to tell you." But
So I mean, but the thing is you took some time off when you found out, right, or something, and but then you ended up coming back and still fighting again.
yes, I was medically suspended. Supposed to be indefinite, but I'm a good actor, a good liar. I got 3 doctors that said that it was okay for me to fight. The reason I did that was because in 1995, when my career ended, my marriage started. And just as I, I took and needed something to do with all that anger. So what I did was I pursued the fight. I felt comfortable in the ring. I didn't really think. At 25 years old, you don't think about the longevity of your decisions. So I said, I'm gonna fight again. I'm gonna prove to the world that you can't stop.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to ask you about some of your passions. I know that you're very passionate about cooking, music, and your faith, right?
Yes, sir. Love. I can't say I love to cook, but when I do cook, I can't make the same thing twice. Mama Capitola told me that life is like cooking. Cooking is a journey. You go many times, different ways, but it always gets you to the same point.
So,
Sometimes you don't go again.
I was just curious. So, what do you think the best dishes that you cook?
Oh, I do a what I call a rigatoni G, which is for me, and it's kind of like a pasta-based marsala sauce with chicken and vegetables. It's man, all my kids love it. I can tell
Okay,
they do a good job, and my kids love it.
okay, and then as far as music, you listen to quite the variety of music, right?
I love it. I love it all.
Okay, you don't have any favorite singers or favorite groups. You just like listening to all of it.
Well, I mean, I love all of it, but I mean, I was a big Prince fan. I met Prince in '93. Me, Evander, and MC Hammer went to the Prince Rupert's. And
Oh, I'm losing you.
heard him play at 3 in the morning. Then you got I like Air Supply. Grew up with 70s and '80s Air Supply. Russell Hitch, lead singer. And, he sings the love songs that make people fall in love. And he's a friend of mine, and he's a big boxing fan, so we talk boxing, and then I'm amazed with he, he's in this tour and singing the songs that brought people together.
Okay. Now tell me some you're involved in something to do with Parkinson's disease, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell me about that.
I teach boxing, non-combative boxing, to my friends that have Parkinson's.
You're breaking up on me, Homer.
Is it better now?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, like I say, I teach boxing to my friends who have Parkinson's. And with their,
Uh,
I'm
I don't know.
sorry.
No, no, it ain't you. It's that's how Wi-Fi works sometimes. Is there any way? Can you shift your phone one way or the other, maybe, or something? I just don't want to miss what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, like I say, with my Parkinson, people who have uh, they need the intensity of the workout. Well, you're not going to get more intense than boxing. you know. And so a friend of mine came to me and said, "Hey, my husband has Parkinson's, and I want you to train him to box." So I began with him. Next thing you know, we opened it up to the senior center where I live at, and we started off with 4 people. Now we've got about 16, and
Okay.
I love it. And not only do we have just a group of people working
Oh,
together,
I'm missing all that, Homer. Ah,
as we get together once every couple of months, just fellowship.
see if you can shift that phone, Homer, because I'm missing too much, and I know it's good stuff.
How about that?
All right, let's see. Hopefully that'll work. So
Let's
tell me
try
again.
that.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Okay. Um, yeah, like I say, with my Parkinson's, my friends with Parkinson's, I've got the opportunity to teach them boxing, but like I say, once or twice every couple of months, we get together outside of a Parkinson class, and we just spend time together, and we're involved in each other's lives.
Okay.
Um, they came and watched my daughter sing at church, and it's just amazing. I mean, that's what life is about. Life is about building into others, and that's what I hope my life is about anyway.
So now I know you're colorblind, and some people might not know what that is. But if you can explain that for a second, what it is, and then I want to know, did it ever affect you at any time when you were boxing? Was there a situation that caused you any issues?
Not that I know of. I mean, I didn't really know that I was colorblind until they started doing some stuff. I was having headaches and stuff like that, so I went to the neurologist, and he did a test on me and found that I have a light sensitivity issue, and then also I was colorblind. Um, I don't see reds and greens very well, stuff like that, which it didn't bother me. All my wardrobe seemed to match until I got married.
Okay. So I guess I got a question. If you don't see the reds very well, and your opponent had red gloves on, what do they look like?
Hopefully, I didn't see them.
So, all right. Did you ever have any boxing superstitions?
Oh, all boxers do. No sex before the fight. And I now understand that it's not really a superstition. It makes you mean. I mean, you just. Um, but certain guys, if you boxed in this color, award this, you came out to this song. Um, it always depended on how I felt. When I came out to fight, a lot of times I would come out with Christian music. Uh, when I fought Matt Vanda, I came out to Jesus Freak. I dressed up as a Jesus Freak. I had a crazy looking robe on with some wild looking hair, trying to be like John the Baptist, and try to give the fans a show.
Okay. So, who's the one fighter that you never got to fight in your career?
Arturo Gatti. Me and Arturo boxed up in New York when I was training for Camacho, and I beat him around the ring. And we signed a contract to fight him, and then I beat and ended the career of Carlos Alberto Martinez. Um, and that was contingent. The fight with Gatti was contingent on that fight, and I beat him to death and broke my hand actually in the third round, and still beat him uh, 8 out of 10 rounds. So I was supposed to fight Gatti. I was training in the gym one handed, and I was killing guys. I mean, I was ready. I was honed. I was ready. And then all of a sudden, they called the gym and found out I was still doing great, and that I was poised to beat Gaddy, and that his next fight was going to be with Oscar De La Hoya. So they said, uh, "We're gonna back out of the fight." I said, "Oh no, no, no! I got a contract. I'm coming." And next thing you know, I hired an attorney, and my attorney came back and said, they're going to give you $10,000 to back out. And I said, you told me that there was no way that they could back out of the fight. He said, well, it's a 3-party contract. You signed the contract. The Duva signed the contract. But Arturo Gatti never signed the contract. I was like, oh, come on, man. That's bull. They've been promoting this for 3 months. But that's boxing for you right there. So
Okay.
I would like to have fought Gatti. Because I would have been able to, maybe it could have been the Mickey Ward Gatti
Yeah,
trilogy.
right.
Yeah.
That would have been a good fight. So
I,
if you could, do you watch TV? Do you watch TV a lot or no?
not a lot, but yeah, I watched some.
Okay, so if you could go on any reality TV show, which one would you go on?
A reality TV show. Oh wow, that's a tough one because there's no reality in reality TV.
Right?
You think it's reality, but it's not. It's scripted. So I'm not for certain. Any Survivor, or something like that. I wouldn't mind doing it.
Okay. So now I know you're a pretty public guy. You don't, a lot of people know a lot of stuff about you. You're out there. You don't really hide anything about you. But I want to know something that the boxing fans don't know about you.
I'm an artist.
Yeah, but we know that.
I'm real soft-hearted when it comes to my kids. I'll do whatever I have to do to protect my children. I try to be the nicest guy you ever want to meet until you make me not be nice, and then.
Okay. So tell me someone in your life that inspired you outside of boxing.
Outside of boxing, my wife inspires me. Believe it or not, just watching the way that she handles my children, and she's classy. She's amazing to me. I can't believe that she fell for me. What's wrong with her? Obviously, she's not all there.
So tell me, I want to know the first thing you did after you won your first world title.
After I won my first world title, the next day I think we went to a Christmas gathering for like a VFW, and I gave out kids toys to the kids.
Oh, nice. Did you bring the belt with?
Yes, I did.
So now I couldn't find a book on you, so I'm assuming you haven't written a book yet on your life?
Not yet. We've talked about it several times. People have talked about it with me, and I've talked about it because I've had a very crazy life.
Exactly. That's why I was wondering why there wasn't one out there. So I'm curious, if you do end up writing one, what do you think the title of the book would be?
I have the title picked out. Homer, the Idiot and the Odyssey.
Okay, so you already got the title, so you have been thinking about it, and hopefully someday we'll see it on the internet or on the bookshelves or whatever, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you collect anything?
I've got I used to have a memorabilia thing of different bands that I've met, Kiss, Buck Cherry, Air Supply, Def Leppard, stuff like that. And I still have a lot of CDs I used to keep up with. I guess we're all collective in certain things. I've got a number of memorabilia that I've got from boxing, hanging out with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and George Foreman, and it's amazing that I still have boxes of stuff. I don't even know what's in the boxes.
Okay, so tell me a crazy or funny story that ever happened between you and a boxing fan.
Boxing fan, ooh, that's a good one. Let's see. You know how after a fight or something like that, you always have guys that come up to you and talk trash, and of course, as you get older, you realize it doesn't really matter. It's not a matter of pride. But I had a guy come up to me and goes, "You know I could kick your butt, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know that." He's like, "So you understand that I could?" Most definitely. You're not going to, are you? No, I mean, just as long as you know it. So I got you, man. I'm good. Don't worry about it. You don't have to prove anything to me.
So a guy in the crowd says that to a two-time world champion, and you just basically, just laugh at him inside, and you're going, "Yeah, you can beat me up, whatever. I don't really care."
No.
And this guy just kept going along with it.
Yeah, I mean, even now with my kids in the gym, I have guys come to the gym, and I see them look over at me because I'm a little bit pudgy right now, and I'm 53. So they look over at me and they're like, "So you're the champ?" "Yes, sir." Huh. And then I see it in their head, and they're like, "I'd love to get in the ring with you." So let's go ahead and ring. And everything's good until all of a sudden they want to bring somebody with a cell phone. It's got a camera, and then they want to get a video. I'm like, "Oh, this is not going to be good for you."
Okay, so what's the best advice you ever got from another boxer, and who was it?
Muhammad Ali told me that he said, "Man, you got a good jab. Your jab is good. You know how to box. But the only problem is, only me and you know it."
Okay. Who's the one boxer, alive or dead, that you'd want to sit down and have a conversation with that you've never been able to talk to?
Marvin Hagler. I loved Hagler. I didn't get the opportunity to meet him while he was alive, and that's one of the fighters I would have loved to have met. That, and of course Sugar Ray Robinson.
Okay.
Those guys were amazing to me.
Do you have any phobias?
Phobias. Ah, not that I know of.
Okay. So what has been, now obviously we know you won 2 world titles, but what has been the biggest accomplishment in your life?
Marrying my wife. I don't know what I don't know what she saw in me. But hey, I'm a good liar. Whoa.
All right, if you could have a boxing match with any fighter in history, alive or dead, who would your ultimate fight be with?
Wow. Still Marvin Hagler. Just man, I love that guy. I mean, just the way he was, the intensity he brought to the ring, and just ferocious. I loved Hagler, and I would have loved to have fought Hagler, just just to be in the ring with him. I mean, I know he'd kill me, but man, I would have loved it.
All right, so this is the last question I got for you. So, if you died tomorrow, what would you want your fans, your friends, and your family to say about you?
Well, I hope that they say that I cared about other people, that I poured my life out for other people, whether it was in boxing or whether it was at church or whether it was in school, that they would say that I cared about them, because I do. I care about people, and I always want to be remembered well.
Okay. All right, hold on. And with that, the truth has spoken.